Have you ever noticed a strange change in your body and wondered, is this something I should be worried about? Could your body be whispering subtle warnings that something more serious is approaching? And what if the signs that death is near are not dramatic or obvious, but surprisingly easy to miss? As we age, it's natural to become more attentive to shifts in our health. But sometimes, the most critical signs are the ones we least expect, the ones that quietly slip under the radar. In this video, we'll explore 5 unusual signals that doctors believe could mean death is near, closer than most people would ever imagine. This may sound unsettling, but don't turn away. Being able to recognize these red flags early could be what helps you, or someone you care about, take the right steps and get help before it's too late. The purpose here isn't to frighten you, it's to empower you. Knowing what to look for can make all the difference, from sudden drops in energy to unexpected changes in your body. These signs are your body's way of trying to speak to you. The problem? Too many people ignore them, assuming they're just part of getting older or nothing to worry about. But medical experts warn, overlooking these signals can be a dangerous mistake. So stay with me until the very end, because by the time we finish, you'll have the knowledge to recognize what your body may be trying to tell you. You'll be more prepared, more aware, and perhaps even save a life, maybe your own. Let's begin. Number 1. Sudden, unexplained weight loss. One of the clearest warning signs that something serious could be happening is when you start shedding pounds without trying. As we age, metabolism naturally slows down. In fact, many older adults find it harder to lose weight, even when they try. That's why it's especially concerning when the weight seems to drop on its own, without dieting, without exercising more, and without any clear reason at all. But the number on the scale keeps going down, and that's not something to ignore. This type of weight loss often happens slowly, almost without notice. It creeps in subtly. You may start to feel your clothes becoming looser, or one day you glance in the mirror and see that your face looks thinner than it used to. These small changes can be easy to dismiss, but they may be signaling something much more serious beneath the surface. Sudden and unexplained weight loss is one of the earliest external signs doctors look for when evaluating serious health concerns. Your body might be silently struggling with conditions like certain types of cancer, chronic infections, or advanced diseases affecting major organs. These illnesses often ramp up your metabolism, causing your body to burn more energy, even while you're at rest. On top of that, they may reduce your appetite without you realizing it, creating a perfect storm for rapid weight loss. When your body is waging a hidden battle, it needs more fuel to function, and if you're not eating more to compensate, the pounds begin to melt away. One man named Harold, age 72, shared his experience with this exact scenario. At first, he was pleased to see that he had lost 15 pounds over 3 months. He'd always wanted to shed a bit of weight, and since it seemed effortless, he didn't give it a second thought. But as the weeks passed, he noticed his energy fading. Everyday activities became harder, and he no longer had the strength to do the things he loved. Eventually, Harold discovered that the weight loss was being driven by a serious medical condition that required immediate treatment. His story is a powerful reminder that losing weight without trying isn't always a victory. It can be your body's way of waving a red flag. The important thing is to pay attention. If you're noticing unexpected weight loss, especially when it's accompanied by other symptoms like fatigue, a drop in appetite, or changes in how your body feels from day to day, don't brush it off. These signs are worth discussing with your doctor. Some people worry they're overreacting, or they chalk it up to just getting older. But this isn't about overreacting. It's about staying proactive. It's about giving yourself the best possible chance to catch something early, especially if it turns out to be serious. When something doesn't feel right, don't hesitate to speak up. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. In fact, reaching out to your doctor is a wise move. A few simple tests can often uncover the cause behind the weight loss, and from there, your doctor can help you create a plan. Sometimes, the solution may be as manageable as adjusting your diet or modifying your daily habits. But in other cases, the weight loss could be a symptom of something more serious that needs immediate attention. Either way, by paying attention and acting early, you're making a smart, potentially life-saving decision. The key message is this: your body is always sending signals. It's just a matter of whether we choose to listen. Now let's move on. Number 2, extreme fatigue that doesn't go away, even after resting. This is a symptom that often gets overlooked, but doctors warn it should never be dismissed. It's not the ordinary tiredness you feel after a long afternoon of yard work or spending time with your grandkids. This is a deeper, more persistent exhaustion that hangs over you like a heavy blanket, from the moment you wake up in the morning until you finally lie down at night. What makes this kind of fatigue especially worrisome is that it may be your body's way of signaling it's fighting something serious, something you might not even realize is happening. Many people mistakenly believe that feeling tired all the time is just a natural part of aging. But there's a crucial difference between regular fatigue and the kind that points to a deeper issue. If you find that everyday tasks like getting dressed, making a simple meal, or even having a short conversation leave you feeling wiped out, that's not something to ignore. It could be your body's quiet cry for help. That constant feeling of being worn out is your body's way of waving a red flag. Edward, a 76-year-old man, shared his story about how he began feeling unusually tired, even after what seemed like a full night's sleep. He would wake up, sit in his favorite chair, sip his morning coffee, and instead of feeling recharged, he felt as if he hadn't rested at all. At first, he brushed it off, thinking maybe his sleep hadn't been very deep. But when days turned into weeks and nothing improved, he knew something was off. When he finally visited his doctor, they discovered that his heart wasn't pumping as effectively as it should. Getting treatment changed everything for him. His story is a strong reminder of just how important it is to pay attention to fatigue that doesn't make sense. It's not just tiredness, it could be your body crying out for help. This kind of persistent fatigue often comes with other subtle signs. You might notice you're getting winded from climbing just a few stairs, or you're needing to rest more often during the day. Maybe you're nodding off unexpectedly during the afternoon, or you're slowly pulling away from the hobbies you used to love. Not because you've lost interest, but simply because you don't have the energy anymore. What's crucial to understand is that this isn't just about feeling old or tired. When essential organs like your heart, lungs, or kidneys aren't functioning at full strength, your body has to work harder just to keep you going. That extra effort can drain your energy faster than you realize. Your body is speaking, sometimes quietly, sometimes urgently. The question is, are we listening? Let's keep going so we can continue sharing important information to help inform and empower you. Number 3. Shortness of breath during simple activities. This is one of those symptoms that can really take people by surprise. Doctors strongly advise that if you notice yourself becoming breathless during everyday tasks, it's something that should never be ignored. And we're not talking about the kind of breathlessness you might feel after running or lifting something heavy. This is different. This kind shows up when you're doing things that once felt effortless. You might feel winded while making the bed, walking to the mailbox, or even while just putting on your clothes in the morning. What makes this symptom especially tricky is how subtly it can begin. At first, you might not even register it. Maybe you find yourself needing to pause and take a deep breath more often, or you feel just a little lightheaded after climbing a few stairs. At first, it's easy to brush off, but gradually, these small moments add up, and they start happening more often. This kind of shortness of breath is a major red flag because it often points to serious problems with your heart or lungs. These are the systems responsible for keeping oxygen flowing throughout your body. And when they aren't working properly, your body notices right away, especially when you start to move. Frank, a 79-year-old man, described his experience with this. He used to enjoy walking around his block every evening. One day, he realized he had to stop halfway through the walk just to catch his breath. He figured maybe he was just out of shape or having an off day. But as time went on, it got worse. Eventually, even standing at the kitchen counter became exhausting. When he finally saw his doctor, they discovered that his heart was no longer pumping as efficiently as before. Getting help made all the difference for Frank. And it could for you too. One critical detail to pay attention to is how quickly the shortness of breath comes on and how long it sticks around. You might feel perfectly fine one moment, and then suddenly, even a small movement, like reaching for something or walking across the room, leaves you breathless. Or maybe you notice it takes much longer than usual for your breathing to return to normal after doing something mildly strenuous. These are more than just minor annoyances. They can be strong indicators that something more serious is going on beneath the surface. And it's not only the breathlessness itself you should watch for. Often, it's accompanied by other signs your body is giving you: tightness in your chest, dizziness, or swelling in your ankles and feet. These added symptoms help paint a clearer picture of what might be happening, and they're incredibly helpful for your doctor to know when trying to get to the root of the problem. It's important not to dismiss these signs as just part of getting older. That's a common reaction, thinking, "I'm not young anymore, of course I'm out of breath now and then." But if there's a noticeable shift in how your breathing feels, especially during everyday tasks, it deserves your attention. Your body doesn't make changes like this without a reason. When your breathing habits change, your body is trying to tell you something. And when you tune in early, you give yourself the best shot at addressing the issue before it becomes more serious. Paying attention to how you feel during the most ordinary moments, like walking, getting dressed, or moving through your home, is one of the simplest and most powerful things you can do for your health. So, if you catch yourself getting winded by activities that once felt easy, don't ignore it. Treat it as the valuable signal it is. This is an important message from your body, one that deserves to be heard. When you respond to it, you're not just helping yourself breathe more easily. You're also giving yourself a chance to reclaim your energy, restore your confidence, and regain the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're not ignoring something vital. Number 4 is sudden confusion or memory loss. This is a symptom that can catch people completely off guard, and doctors warn that it should never be overlooked. We're not talking about the occasional forgetfulness, like misplacing your keys or stepping into a room and forgetting why you went in. That happens to everyone now and then. What we're focusing on here is a much more noticeable and often sudden shift in your ability to think clearly, recall familiar things, or stay focused on basic tasks. It may start with difficulty following a conversation or losing track of what someone just said. You might find yourself confused in a place you've been to hundreds of times or suddenly unsure about what day it is, even when you're in your own home. These moments might feel disorienting, and they don't usually come out of nowhere without reason. What makes this particular sign so important is that it often indicates something more serious going on inside your body. Sudden confusion or memory trouble can be connected to conditions like infections, mini-strokes, or problems with how your brain is receiving oxygen or essential nutrients. When something disrupts that balance, the brain is often one of the first organs to show it. Walter, a man who was 80, shared a powerful example of this. He first noticed that he was struggling to remember the names of people he had known for years. At first, he thought it was just a normal part of getting older, but then his wife began noticing more alarming changes. He seemed unsure of what day it was, or confused about what he was supposed to be doing. When they visited his doctor, they discovered he had developed a serious infection that was directly impacting his thinking. Fortunately, once he received the right treatment, his mental clarity began to return. Walter's story is a strong reminder that changes in thinking and memory shouldn't be brushed aside. They could be your brain's way of saying, "Something's not right." Any noticeable changes in memory, focus, or mental clarity should never be ignored. Another way this warning sign can show up is through subtle or even sudden changes in behavior. Someone who's normally calm and easygoing may become unexpectedly irritable, anxious, or withdrawn. You might notice that a person who once enjoyed reading, socializing, or hobbies now avoids those things altogether, often without a clear explanation. These behavioral shifts can happen because the brain isn't getting what it needs. Whether it's oxygen, nutrients, or steady blood flow, the brain is incredibly sensitive to even minor imbalances. And when it's under stress, that pressure shows up in more than just memory. It affects emotions, mood, focus, and even how decisions are made. That's why it's so crucial to stay alert if you or someone close to you starts behaving in ways that feel uncharacteristic or unusual. It's also helpful to look for patterns. Do the episodes of confusion or memory loss seem to come and go? Are they worse in the morning or late at night? These details, though small, can give your doctor essential clues when trying to determine what's really going on. In some cases, the cause might be relatively simple, such as dehydration or a lack of certain vitamins, but in other situations, it could signal something much more serious, like a heart or lung condition that's silently reducing the amount of oxygen reaching the brain. Recognizing these changes early and acting on them quickly gives you the best chance of identifying and addressing the underlying cause before it worsens. Family members and close friends often play a vital role in noticing this sign first. When you're the one experiencing confusion or mental fog, it can be incredibly difficult to realize that something's wrong. But the people around you, those who know your usual patterns and personality, may start seeing the red flags. They might notice that you're repeating yourself more often, asking the same questions again and again, or seeming unsure about familiar routines or names. If someone close to you gently raises these concerns, try to listen without getting defensive. Often, they're not being critical, they're concerned. Their observations might be the very thing that leads to the help and answers you need. Being mindful of how your mind feels, how sharp your thoughts are, how well you're able to concentrate, is just as crucial as paying attention to the physical signals your body sends. Your brain is the control center for every action, every emotion, every decision. So when it begins sending warning signs that something isn't right, those signals matter. They deserve your full attention. Taking action in response, whether that's calling your doctor, scheduling an appointment, or even heading to the emergency room if necessary, isn't overreacting. It's a smart, proactive step toward protecting your well-being. It's about giving yourself the care you need before something potentially serious becomes worse. If you're still watching this video and finding the information helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here and engaged. And if you haven't already subscribed, I invite you to do so and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a future video. Your support truly helps us keep creating meaningful content designed to inform and inspire. Now, let's continue. Number 5. Swelling in the legs or abdomen. This is a sign that catches many people by surprise, yet doctors emphasize it should never be ignored. Swelling in the legs, ankles, feet, or stomach area that appears without any clear reason could be your body's way of flagging a deeper issue. A lot of older adults assume that a little swelling is just a normal part of aging, or maybe from standing too long during the day. But there's a big difference between occasional puffiness and swelling that's persistent, worsening, or accompanied by other symptoms. This type of swelling, called edema, happens when fluid builds up in the body's tissues, and when it starts affecting your lower body or abdomen, it can point to more serious issues with vital organs like your heart, liver, or kidneys. These organs help regulate fluid in the body, and when they're not functioning properly, that fluid begins to accumulate where it shouldn't. George, who was 81, experienced this firsthand. George shared that the first thing he noticed was how his shoes started feeling tighter than usual. At night, he struggled to slip off his wedding ring, something that had never been a problem before. At first, he figured it might just be due to warmer weather or the fact that he hadn't been as active lately. But when the swelling didn't go away, and his belly began to feel bloated and uncomfortable, he knew it was time to talk to his doctor. What he discovered was eye-opening. His heart wasn't pumping as effectively as it needed to, and as a result, fluid was beginning to accumulate in his body. Thankfully, once he began the proper treatment, the swelling eased, and he started feeling like himself again, lighter, more energized, and far more comfortable. One useful thing to keep an eye on is whether the swelling worsens as the day goes on or improves overnight after resting. With conditions like heart failure, swelling tends to build gradually throughout the day, especially if you've been on your feet a lot. You may also notice that your waistband feels tighter than normal, or that you feel unusually full, even if you've eaten only a small amount. These may seem like minor annoyances, but they're actually valuable clues that help your doctor understand what's going on beneath the surface. Swelling tied to more serious health concerns often doesn't show up alone. There are usually other signs that something isn't quite right. You might find yourself getting more short of breath, particularly when lying flat. Some people notice unexplained weight gain, even though their eating habits haven't changed at all. Others may feel their skin becoming tight or stretched, and pressing on the swollen area might leave an indentation that's slow to bounce back. Each of these symptoms is your body's way of saying it's struggling to regulate fluids and that it needs help. It's also important to pay attention to how quickly the swelling appears. When it happens suddenly, especially if it's combined with other symptoms, that can be a red flag. When swelling is accompanied by chest pain, shortness of breath, or sudden confusion, it may signal a medical emergency. In those situations, don't wait. Get help immediately. But even when the swelling develops more gradually, it's still something worth discussing with your doctor. Bringing it up early allows your healthcare provider to assess what's going on and recommend treatments that not only reduce the swelling, but more importantly, address the root cause before it becomes more dangerous. Sometimes, it's the people around you who notice the first signs. A family member might point out that your socks are leaving deeper marks on your legs than usual, or that your face looks a bit puffier than normal. These may seem like minor comments, but they can hold valuable insight. Rather than brushing off these observations, consider them gentle reminders, small nudges from loved ones who care about your well-being. Swelling in the legs, ankles, or abdomen isn't just about feeling a bit uncomfortable or needing to buy bigger shoes. It could be a serious message from your body that something's not quite right. And the earlier you listen, the better. Seeking medical attention when symptoms first appear gives you a greater chance of treating the issue before it interferes with your quality of life. It helps you stay active, independent, and able to enjoy the things you love most. Being aware of these signs isn't about living in fear. It's about living wisely. It's about giving yourself the best possible chance to remain healthy, strong, and vibrant in the years ahead. As we come to the end of this video, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on the 5 important signs we've discussed. Which one stood out to you the most? Have you noticed any of these symptoms in your own life or in someone close to you? Unexplained weight loss, persistent fatigue, shortness of breath during daily tasks, sudden confusion or memory loss, and swelling in the legs or abdomen. These are not just minor inconveniences. They're signals, and sometimes they're the only warning your body gives before something more serious takes hold. These messages aren't meant to scare you. They're here to encourage you to listen to your body and take action when something feels off. When you notice these signs early, you give yourself a better chance to get the help you need, feel stronger, and continue doing the things that bring meaning and joy to your life. It can be tempting to dismiss small changes or chalk them up to aging. But the truth is, your body has its own language, and it's constantly communicating with you. By staying alert and reaching out to your doctor when something doesn't feel right, you're doing something incredibly powerful. You're taking charge of your health. You're giving yourself the opportunity to enjoy more time, more energy, and more peace of mind. And always remember, you don't have to go through any of this alone. You have your family, your friends, and your healthcare team right there with you, people who care and want to support you every step of the way. Now we'd love to hear from you. What's one insight from today's video that you plan to apply in your own life? Maybe you've decided to be more mindful of how your body feels throughout the day, or perhaps you'll finally have that conversation with your doctor that you've been putting off. Whatever it is, take a moment to leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Your reflections don't just help you, they can uplift and inspire others who are watching this video too. Reading your comments brings us motivation, and reminds us why we create these videos in the first place. Thank you for spending your time with us today. If this video helped you or brought something meaningful to your attention, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you care about. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content that informs and empowers our community. Wishing you good health, happiness, and peace always. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an important update.